Welcome to another exciting show with me. This is Vance here. That's right, your host. And yes, we are from Kopi with Vance. What a lovely weather tonight. It's been raining a couple of days. It seems like just that we don't have snow, but okay. But with a cup of coffee, of course. If you're not a coffee lover, please get your tea as well, or chai, or whatever that is a warm to on this nice rainy season week, or rather the month going to be on the month of December. Yes, and today I have a lovely guest with me today, and we're going to talk all about music and arts. That's right. Upcoming event is going to be and right. I'm going to let my guest speaker to talk all about that. Going to be just in another 20 to 15 seconds. We're going to pull her up here, right? So today is going to be a little bit different. I know at Kopi events we always talk about health topics. We cover a lot of segments over the past 3 years, but today is something light-hearted, and at the same time to enjoy and to know a little bit of history as well and music, and speaking to the guru. I think that will be the best person. So let's welcome Lavanya. Hi, Lavanya.
Hi, Vanan. How are you?
I am good. Thank you for joining me at Kopi Events.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on Kopi with Ones. It's a real honor. Thank you.
So, are you having your cup of coffee? Because today we're doing a podcast, so there's no video. So, I'm sure you might have a cup of a warm drink there.
Yes, I do have my peppermint tea. It's pretty hot.
Okay. So, as long as it's a warm cup and having a chat, I think that will be the
Yes,
best, isn't it?
yes, that's right. Yes.
All right, Lavanya. I mean, today topic, like I said, it's going to be a little bit very much different from what Kopi Events does. I mean, we always talk about health topics, a lot of different segments, but today is all about talking music and media. All right, and all about music. And Lavanya, before we go on, it will be great if you can just do a little bit of your introduction so that our viewers will know.
Sure. I think it's great. Like you said, it's a great weather. Firstly, to talk about something light, and at the same time, a topic like music and arts, or movies. I think it's a great time to be talking about it.
Yeah.
Uh, yes, so I come from a media and musical background. Um, I am actually a writer and a director. I work in the media industry in Singapore. I am also a musician, and I have my own music school. I run my music school, and I would love to share about our first live production that we're going to be doing in Singapore next week. So yes, that's in a nutshell. That's who I am.
Okay. So I know this has not been scripted, but are you going to sing any song for us later?
Sure, why not? Yeah.
Right. Because I was watching through some of your Instagram's posts, and I saw some of the music and the settings at night. So I think it will be going to be a catch you off guard, right? I mean, really not off guard, but let's see what you can give it to our audiences today.
Sure, it's interesting because so my channel is called Nighttime Partner. So that's my Instagram handle, and I know you've been asked, but there's actually a story behind that handle because the only time that I really enjoy practicing my music is in the night because it's so quiet.
Right.
And so, because I keep singing in the night, I just call my channel as Nighttime Partner. So you will see me.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see what we have later on, but let's dive in a little bit more about you first before you even go into a little bit more into the topics today. I know you talked about a background, but in media and music, and I know you have it as a career in the arts as well. Am I right to say that?
That's right. Yeah.
So,
Um,
how's it to be like a career in the arts?
it's actually lovely. Obviously, that's why I'm having it as my career. But I think everyone the general perception would be that, if someone has a career in, say, a media line or in the arts line, or it should be, the general perception would be that it's probably an easier option. But I think, once you're in it, you realize that every career option is as deep and as, strenuous and rewarding at the same time, as it's just as any other career path. But there are some added, interesting things thrown upon as well. Like, for example, an art form is always very subjective, in the sense that, when they create an artwork, um, it is not necessary that everyone will like it. So everybody will have, their viewpoint on an artwork.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel one of the interesting parts of having a career in arts is whatever work that you do, no matter how much hard work you put, will always be, you should be open. You should have an open mind, because the reception can be varied. And I think once it's a mindset that you slowly develop as you grow in your career. And I think once you develop that mindset and you're happy with that mindset, and that's when I think you've really arrived in there, I feel. So,
Right. So, lovely. I mean, how many years have you been in the background of the in the arts? How many years have you been doing this?
well, I studied my. I'm actually an engineering student. I did my engineering, and after doing my engineering, I realized that I really enjoyed technology, and I did my master's in digital media. So since then, I've been in this industry. So I've actually been in this industry for a while now. It's been like almost 15 to 20 years.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of more to explore on your expertise for tonight. Let's talk about the music school that you've just started. I mean, what is it? And I know we were going through this especially, and it's interesting to know that you actually this is actually a Sanskrit name of your school, right?
That's right.
All
That's
right.
right.
So yeah, shall we talk about that a little bit more?
Sure. So Tat Tvam Asi is the name of my music school.
Right.
Like you clearly said, it's actually a Sanskrit word. So Tat Tvam Asi actually means, you are what you are made of. So you are what you are within. So it's a very soul searching phrase, actually.
Right.
um, the reason for me to choose this was because, I grew up in a family where, my mom, my sister, my grandmother, everybody, they just love music, and they used to sing around me. So I literally grew up listening to a lot of music. um,
Mm.
Although I didn't learn music, but music was always, I felt, all around me, and I really enjoyed it. So as I grew up, I genuinely enjoy singing. So I just started singing, I think, when I was in my late teens, teenage
Mm-hmm.
years, 15, 16. And I didn't have any plans to actually teach as I grew up, but much later, it so happened that there was few people who approached me after they saw me perform and sing, in shows, and they wanted to learn from me. And
Mm-hmm.
initially I was very apprehensive, because when you're a performer, you don't want to teach, or rather, the way I would look at it is, to be a teacher is actually a responsibility, to
Right.
train someone, to guide someone. So I initially wasn't sure if I could do that. Um, but then my teacher actually told me that, as a person, it's very important for all of us to kind of share whatever we've learned, and, pass it on to, like, I won't say next generation, or pass it on to
Mm-hmm.
someone else. So I thought, why not do that? So yeah, that's I've been teaching music for a long time,
Right.
but my school Tat Tvam Asi, I actually, like, formalized it like about 4 years ago in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Lavanya, I'm going to put you in a difficult, not so difficult, a very easy position right now because the
Okay.
weather is nice. A lot of people are coming in right now. And for the viewers, we are going live in Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
Okay.
LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube as well. Today with me is Lavanya. She has a lot of talent, so we're going to see one of her talent right now. It's going to be a situation round right now. I know this is not planned at all, Lavanya. I know.
I know that.
This kind of weather. Okay.
Yeah.
And you just now told me that you're having a cup of what? Sorry, is it a tea or chai or coffee? No,
Peppermint tea. Yes. Yes.
peppermint tea. Okay, with peppermint tea, and it's slightly drizzling. And now the weather outside is about 25, 26 C's. Probably might even rain heavily later. At this situation, what is the kind of song that you will sing for us at Kopi with Vance?
Oh gosh, this is it's not hard, but it's kind of I want to make sure that it's um
Hmm. All over you, to you.
okay. Are you okay if I sing a Tamil song?
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Um, hmm, okay, this is not exactly a Mara patter, but
Okay.
I
Not the
I
rainy.
really like the song, and I'm thinking it's probably apt because I'm just looking out and I actually can't see the moon, which
Okay.
because it's really dark. So I'm gonna
Right.
sing like a song about
Sure.
Nila. So mm, நிலாவேவா செல்லாதேவா என்னாலும் உன் பொன்வானம் நான் என்னை நீதான் பிரிந்தாலும் நினைவாலே அணைப்பேனே நிலாவேவா செல்லாதேவா. Yeah.
Well done. Woo! That was lovely. I mean, we were expecting it for even for longer, but never mind. Round two is coming up, okay, for you.
Oh gosh.
Thank you, Lavanya. It's lovely. I'm sure viewers also will be enjoying it. And viewers you're watching, I mean, of course, you're hearing this. Please do share and like as well. Give us some support to Lavanya. Later, there will be a lot more segments coming in, short segments. So, Lavanya, we're going to go into the upcoming production with TLLPC. So, if you can elaborate a little bit more to our viewers as well, so that they know what's going to upcoming in the next, what, 1 week? Or more, less, slightly more than a week, right? It's
Yes,
on the
yes, it's
8th of December.
exactly, yeah, it's exactly 1 week. So,
Okay.
next Friday, which is the 8th of December, Tat Tvam Asi, like my music school, is coming out with, we're coming out with our first live stage production in Singapore. And this production is being supported by TLLPC, which is actually the Tamil Language Learning Center Council, rather. And this organization actually they pick up certain projects which they feel actually help in spreading the reach of Tamil language in Singapore. And I'm so glad that they picked up our concept, and they are supporting us for our production. And this production is going to be இது வந்து ஒரு poetry, dance, and music production. So, and it's going to be based on the Tamil literary work called Agananuru.
Mhm. All right.
And it's happening next Friday
Okay.
at Playden at Arts House. And we're going to have two shows of the production. One is going to be at 5:30 p.m. and another at 7:30 p.m. And we have some lovely artists. We're planning a very nice art production for the show.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, I mean, definitely fingers crossed that it goes down well. But at the same time, it's quite an interesting concept,
All right.
and really looking forward to taking that out to the audience.
Thank you, Lavanya. And of course, a lot of more details will be shared on that upcoming. Okay, the next one we're going to talk a little bit about. It's very interesting as well. It actually, I learned today as well, the Aganaru. You want to talk a little bit more about that? I mean, honestly, I've not heard about that, but it's something that I've learned today with you just about less than what, 15 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago.
Well, Agananuru is, you know, the word itself means
Yes.
Agam,
Yep.
Nanuru. Nanuru means 400. Agam means what's inside, right? So Agananuru is actually it is a Tamil literary work that was done in
Mm-hmm.
the Sangam period. So Sangam
Right.
period is actually a time, like, I mean, thousands of years ago. I mean, a few thousands of years ago, when
All
even
right.
the Tamil that was used during the Sangam, times, where it was a very different type of Tamil. You know,
Okay.
when you read Agananuru, you'll notice that it's not like the Tamil that we speak. It's very different. You know, it's much more Tuya Tamil. And so Agam is, like I mentioned, is from within, and Nanuru
Mm-hmm.
means 400. So Agananuru is actually a compilation of about 400 poems,
Right.
uh, which actually talks about the life during the Sangam period. And the beauty of this Agananuru, these 400 poems, is it's actually based on the five landscapes that actually existed during that time.
Okay.
And so it is actually a piece that is based on human emotions, but at the
Mm-hmm.
same time intertwined with, nature, like what world was, or at that time,
Mm-hmm.
and how nature is so similar to human emotions.
Mm. Wow. And how many years we are talking about this?
Either one, we're talking like 2000, 3,000 years ago.
Wow. Okay.
Because
Wow.
in Sangam period, you've had many literary works that have come in.
Right.
We've had Kalitogai, Kurundogai. There are many other
Mm-hmm.
works.
Mm-hmm.
Aganamur is one of them.
Right. And Lavanya, once I mean, I've got to say that for people who are involved in arts, I mean,
Yeah.
everything around you, the things that you see or the things you decorate, because I did see some of your postings in Instagram as well. I mean, there's some songs you sang at night as well. There must be some kind of what can I say? Is it something to do with Mother Nature, or is it something to do with you are syncing with the world or the energies? Is there something to do with that as well?
Uh, I think it's, I think the beauty is that these days what we consider nature is very, I think, different to what nature in itself is, right? Like for us, like for
Mhm.
example, if it rains, we actually don't even step out, for example, right? We
Mhm.
want to stay protected. But I think we're talking about a time when rain was actually part of, it was just part of them. Like they didn't have anything to protect themselves from rain. So,
Mhm.
so I think trying to understand a poetry that's written in a time when nature was regarded to be a part of yourself,
Mhm.
to trying to do it in a time when we are, in a very, we're in a very made up environment, right? So it's very
Right.
different. So I think as an artist, I feel there's so much to explore and, research and do about it. And which
Mhm.
is where I think things like dance and music really helps, because
Right.
to, either one, it's a very complicated piece. And at the same time, when if I keep on talking about this, even your listeners will be like, oh my god, what is she talking, right?
Mhm.
So the whole concept is to take such a heavy piece and break it down, simplify it, and give it to audience in a very simple way.
Right.
Yeah, so
Wow.
that's the whole thing, which is why I wanted to use music and dance in it.
Mm. And also, we talked about it, but you specifically choose Aganaru, not anything else, and or you were complementing it, or is it that you may want to use something, or is there a particular reason why these actually captured your heart?
I think I think there are really lovely pieces. There are also, like I mentioned, there are also other good pieces like Kalitogai and Kurundagai and all that. But I think Agananura kind of caught my eye when I was doing my research, because there was a lot of poems to understand and pick and choose from. Number one,
Mhm.
uh, thing is also the fact that the nature of these poems were very interesting. So it was very, although they look very complicated, if you actually read the poem, it was all going back to they had three main characters basically. So if you see in our poster, you have three dancers, and each one of them represent each of the three characters. So you have like the Talaivan, who's like the hero, and
Hmm.
then you have a Talaivi, who's like the heroine, and then you have the Tori, who's like the heroine's friend. So all these 400 poems literally like kind of are conversations between the three of them. So I felt this is also very it was a very interesting concept. I thought
Hmm.
it'll be good to kind of take this out, I thought, to audience.
Right.
Yeah.
And this was written by you in
Sorry.
Sangam Times. I mean, it's
Yes, so this
written
was
in
written
Sangam
in
Times.
the Sangam Times. Yes, yes, yes.
Right.
So
And each, can I use the word play or the whole segment? How long will the whole segment will takes, Lavanya?
So we are actually not doing all the poems, Anand, to be honest,
Yeah.
because it's good. It would be like a huge, a 3 year project or something.
Okay.
But so what we've done is, so Agananur is actually broken down into three togais or three different parts. So we have chosen one poem from each part, and we are presenting that. So this is almost like showing people a glimpse of what Agananuru could be like. So we are taking three poems, we're talking those poems, we're discussing those poems,
Mhm.
and we will bring them, we'll present them using music and dance so that people understand
Mhm.
what the poet was actually trying to say.
Right. And of course, every time when you do a production, you'll be looking at the outcomes, and also a lot of preparation go through, right?
Yeah,
Backstage,
yeah,
a lot of
true.
costumes or scripts, and so much of works has been done, for that,
Yeah.
probably that, what, 1 hour, is it a 1 hour
It will be
segment?
a 1 hour, yeah, almost 1 hour, 20 minutes
Okay.
show. Yeah.
Yeah, but behind that 1 hour, 20 minutes, there's so much of work has been done, a lot of preparation, nerve. Sometimes the nerves also you're holding in tightly and, going,
True.
under stress. But what will your aim be, for this production as well?
I think the aim is pretty simple, is to take a literary work that people probably don't know much about and basically show some light on some of the literary works that we have had, in our alley, which is in the in the Tamil language. My mother tongue is Tamil, so
Mhm.
I it would. I think some of the things that have been very inspiring is, like for example, um, we had Ponniyin Selvan that come out, right, as a
Right.
movie. I know that Ponniyin Selvan as a book, I mean, as a story was, a lot of people used to read it in the olden times.
Mhm.
But lately, not a lot of people, the younger generation didn't. But when the movie came out, there was a lot of interest, and, people want to now read the book and they want to, it generates a lot of curiosity and interest, which is really good for the language and the literature.
Right.
So I thought, if we take up something like that and bring it to light, it's really pretty good. And I mean, it's almost like a Game of Thrones, right?
Right.
I mean, and we do have such amazing literary works in Tamil, so thought why not? So the aim, if you say, of the production is to take Tamil literary work to more people, increase the reach.
Mm, right.
Yeah,
So this is
yeah,
the picture that earlier on I was looking at, but I'm putting as a JPEG right now.
yeah.
Pull a little bit just so we can talk a little bit more about that.
Sure.
So timing is there, which is we are talking about is the show is 5:30 p.m.
Yes, so we have two shows. The first one is at 5:30 p.m. and the second show is at 7:30 p.m.
Right, and these are the few of the artists that, of course, we're going to talk about in a while,
Yeah.
and also a few of the other staffs as well. What can the audience can expect from this production, and what is the takeaway? Like for myself, it's not that I'm not good at Tamil pesuver, but a lot of times, we are not practicing, and sometimes some words just fade away. But of course, உங்க கூட பேசும்போது, உச்சரிப்பெல்லாம் வந்து திருப்பி வந்துரும். It's like a muscle
Yeah,
memory.
yeah, yeah,
You'll
yeah.
come back again. I know I used to be very good at Tamil at one point. It's not that I can't, but it's just that you got to constantly practice. So if an audience, when they come for this
Mhm.
show or this play, and what will they be expecting and what they will be bringing back?
Um, Nothing, lah. Just sit back and enjoy a good art.
Right.
Like an art show is what I would say. But
Yeah.
it will definitely it would definitely make them take them into a world of a bit of unknown. If they don't know Agananura, right? It will be a world of unknown for sure. And uh, but I think which is where we have this poetry section. Rather than the poetry section, like, we have a host who will actually recite the poetry, and then she will explain what the poetry is.
Mm.
So, and I think that would be the best part because it's almost like reading something that's going to be Greek or Latin,
Mhm.
including me. Even to me, it will be Greek or Latin. But
Right.
then, because we have researched and found out what that poem means, and then when the host actually breaks it down to you, then I think the audience will be able to enjoy that, and
Mhm.
then they will see the poetry come, in action live with music and dance, and I think
Mhm.
that will kind of be nice for them to watch. So
Right.
definitely it would be like a bit of an educational feeling, but then
Mhm.
it's music. So these days they even like to teach subjects. Even for children they teach with music, right? So it's a
Yeah.
nicest way to impart information. So I think it will be nice.
Will there be a part two coming up?
Part 1க்கு எல்லாரும் டிக்கெட் வாங்கி வந்து பார்த்தா டெஃபினட்டா பாட்டு வரும்.
You know why? Because you see, sometimes it's a continuing, and also we talked about your aim, right?
Yeah.
For this production, and of course, it's nowadays like serial, they don't want to show you in a 1 hour or 2 hour movie. They want to show you on serial, so people get very excited, and that is why we are encouraging all our viewers to do attend this play and also to enjoy like what Lavanya has said. So we're coming back to the details a little bit more, but also we're going to talk about the collaborations happening and a Singaporean charity and a silent auction on local artists' work. Could we talk about that as well?
Yeah, sure. I
Yeah.
think it would be great to talk about this because so when I had Tat Tvam Asi, when we did, basically founded Tat Tvam Asi,
Yeah.
one of the things that I've always been very particular about is to be able to um, pass on some bits of what I do to the community. So that's something that's always been on my mind. So when I want to do something, I would always like to pass on a bit of it to the
Mhm.
community as well. So when we had decided that we're going to go ahead with this production, so which is going to be include a first live production. So it's going to be a ticketed show. So we thought, there has to be something good happening out of it as well, not just for us, but anybody who comes to watch it as well. So we wanted everybody to feel that way, not just us.
Right.
So there is a Singaporean charity called Second Meal. It's a very, very low key. You will not find so much information about them, but they're a very, very interesting Singapore charity. So what they do is it's run by a gentleman called Casper, who will also be coming for the show. They don't even have a website. I mean, I think they have a website, but they
Hmm.
don't have any social media presence so much. They do.
Right.
It's a very small charity. But what they do is you can actually make a donation, for example, to Second Meal, and your money will actually be going in as food tokens to hawker centers. And
Right.
then yes, and then you have all the the cardboard pickers and
Mhm.
people who actually don't have enough money, and are living in not very great conditions. They're all registered with Second Meal, for example, so they can actually go to the hawker center and just avail that free meal.
Mhm. Wow, that's
And
nice.
it's a great concept. And even as somebody who wants, I think all of us, right, end of the day, I think all of us want to do something good. So but sometimes we don't know if the money that we're giving actually is going down to the people. So this is one
Mhm.
charity, I think they really, it's very transparent. Like you can buy 5 meals, you will know in your app that the 5 meals have been used up by someone, so
Right.
which is very neat. And I thought they should, such a, I mean, people should get to know about it. So if you buy a ticket for our show, the ticket price is $32. $2 of the ticket actually goes to second meal. So
Right.
yeah, so which is one of the reasons why we also want everyone to come and watch.
Right.
um, so yeah, and so that is one collaboration. The other is, we do have a folk painting artist called Swati Palekar. She
Mhm.
runs, she has her own lovely art school. She's just a lovely artist. So she has actually come out and she's doing an artwork on Agananuru,
Mhm.
and that artwork would be up for a silent auction at the venue, and the proceeds of it will be, a part of it again will be going on to second meal. Yeah, so we've got some interesting stuff happening
Right.
as part of the production, and these people have been very kind enough to also come on board. And so it's something, yeah. So every ticket that's being bought has, like, I mean, has a lot of value for a lot of people.
I
And
got to say that, because it's not just about planning and events, but I think at the end of the day, it's also reaching out to people, right? So I think you guys are doing a great job there. Before we go to the next segment, now it's a situational round for you.
as
First,
usual.
first round already did it. And also to the viewers, right now we are engaging with Lavanya, talking music and media, and also she's a media professional and a director. A lot more segments going to come in. In fact, last segment I got to say that, but before that, Lavanya, last part. Or a situation. Okay, that situation is now you're still having your peppermint, but now you're not in the in the house anymore. You are nearby the seaside. All right, and you this time you can see the moon. All right, it's not really quite a rainy season. Okay, what kind
Okay.
of song will you uh, dedicate to our viewers?
Oh God. Mari. See, I think in Tamil. For me,
Yep,
my language will always be Tamil. So I'm
yep.
gonna be. I don't know what to sing in Tamil. Hmm, oh gosh, I'm actually blank. I'm quite blank.
Sea,
Let me
sea,
sorry.
sand, sky, sea, shining on the sea. The
Hmm.
moonlight.
Okay, I can only think of one song. It's not that this is not a Murray song or anything, but I can just
Yeah,
think of one song because of the
yep.
sea, and I might just sing maybe two lines out of it.
Sure.
Um, it is from a movie called Kannathil Muttamittal.
Okay.
It's a song, I think Chinmay sang it, if I'm right. Mm, mm. ஒரு தெய்வம் தந்த பூவே சிறு ஊடல் எந்த தாயே வாழ்வு தொடங்கும் இடம் நீதானே வானம் முடியும் இடம் நீதானே காற்றை போல நீ வந்தாயே சுவாசமாக நீ நின்றாயே மார்பிலூரும் உயிரே ஒரு தெய்வம் தந்த பூவே சிறு ஊடல் என்ன தாயே. Yeah, just that.
Well done, Lavanya. Well done.
Yes, sir.
You say two lines, but then it just went more than two lines, right?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes when you just get into it, you just sing, right? So, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Lavanya, for that. And of course, we're going to talk a little bit more about the artists as well, right? I mean, artists are the one who are putting a lot of effort, and you are planning, and it's a whole team coming together.
Right.
Can we talk a little bit more about the artists as well, who's involved, and what their contribution, and it's going to be a big show for the 1 hour 20 minutes. So if you can just give some bits of it, that'd be great.
Yeah, so we have, I mean, with the dancers, we have some lovely dancers. We have three lovely dancers. We have Saranya Ramadas, we have Meena Lochani, we have Janaki Nair. They're all amazing dancers in their own right. They
Hmm.
work in a lot of, you can see them very active in the, the local dance scene. Um, they all come from some very good dance schools here in Singapore. In fact, one of them is running her own dance school as well. So it's, I mean, they're all good in their own right. So very happy to have them as part of the production. On the music side, I am on the vocals. I'm being joined by some great artists. I've got Niranjan Pandian, who's a very sought after flautist. He plays the flute, and he's also into a lot of. He's also an independent musician by himself.
Right.
He's gonna be on board.
In fact,
Uh,
Lavanya, Niranjan has came at Kopi events before,
oh,
and
great! There you go. There
he
you
did
go. He's
live
lovely. Yeah.
with his flutist, fantastic.
He's a
Yeah,
lovely person as well. He's a great artist. So it's always good to work with really good artists because it also brings out the best in you. I feel so that way.
yeah.
I'm just so glad to have this group of artists. So yes, there's Niranjan on the flute and the arrangement. There is Mr. Viknash. He's on the percussion. He's playing the mridangam. He's again a very well-known mridangam player in the
Mhm.
Singapore music scene. We probably have one of the really youngest in the team who's Shantanu. Shantanu's on the keyboard. He's a lovely piano player. He's going to be joining us on the keys. Because we wanted this arrangement to be a little different to a very typical music arrangement. We wanted a bit of flow, so we have Shantanu on the keyboard. And last but not the least, we have Gayatri Sharma, who's a very, very known face to the Singapore people,
Mhm.
Singapore audience. She is a multi talented personality. She is a lovely person. She's also she has her own dance school. She's a dancer herself,
Right.
and she's also an actor. She's done like a lot of shows and stuff on Vasantham,
Mhm.
and she's a very very well known personality around. So we wanted her to kind of be our um, you know the poet who actually talks to the audience. So which
Right.
will be her. So yeah, so we have it's nice to have such lovely artists around. So it'll be good if people also come to see what all of us are going to be doing on that day.
Thank you, Lavanya. Thank you a lot, so much for the information. And this is the link that I got it from Lavanya. I mean, so audience who are keen, can they purchase the tickets from here?
Yes, yes, they can. They just have to click on the link, and they would be given a QR code to actually purchase a ticket. So it's pretty straightforward.
Thank you, Lavanya. I mean, we are already in the 40 minutes of podcast here, and it will be in Apple Podcasts and Spotify, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube as well. So all viewers are please do share and like as well. Do support for this fantastic event. Is going to come in less than what we are looking at, less than 8 days, right? On the 8th
Mm-hmm.
of
Yeah,
December.
that's right.
Yeah,
Next
and
Friday.
yeah. So the show timings are two timings. One is 5:30 p.m. and another one is at 7:30 p.m. Right, Lavanya?
That's right.
Okay. And of course, you have the option of choosing the either the 5:30 or the 7:30.
That's right.
Where is it going to take place, Lavanya?
So the venue is going to be played in at Arts House. Arts House is actually right next to Victoria Theatre on the
Okay.
old Parliament Lane. It's a lovely black box that has like a it's a small cozy place, and that's where we're going to be having our event.
Right,
Yeah, supported by TLLPC, and
right.
of course all the amazing artists with me.
Thank you, Lavanya. I think yes, I think it's we're going to send you a lots of wishes there. So for to be a successful event, and of course, viewers, please do share and like as well, and do support Lavanya and professional artists for this play that's going to take place. And I'm going to see for myself also. I may just pop by there, Lavanya.
That sounds awesome. Yes.
Yeah. So I think it will be interesting to understand. Today I learned a lot of few things that I've not even heard about, which
Yeah.
is of course நம்மளோட ஹிஸ்டரியில இருக்கு ஆனா அப்பப்ப பேசினா தான் நம்மளுக்கு தெரியும். So it's good to know.
Exactly. I think that's the I think any art that makes you think is good art is what I
Yeah.
feel. So yeah.
Thank you, Lavanya. And of course, Lavanya, I mean, before we end the podcast, is there something that you want to tell our viewers?
Firstly, I would like to thank you so much for getting me on board and having this lovely chat. I think I have heard your podcast. It's really nice to
Thank
to talk to someone who brings out so many different things of people, aspects of people out to light, which is great. So what you're doing is amazing. So thank you so much for that. I mean, not just for me, but I know that you've brought out, you've spoken to a lot of people from different backgrounds. Like I know there've been lawyers, they've been, and I know that you come from a fitness background.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. So I think what you're giving to the audience is really good. So thank you so much for that, and thanks for having me on board. Um, that's all I wanted to say.
Okay. Thank you, Lavanya. Thank you so much. And of course, viewers, you will be able to hear this in the Apple podcast as well, as I mentioned, and Spotify starting from tomorrow. So please do share it to your friends and family so that a lot of people will know what this event is all about upcoming. Thank you, Lavanya. So hope I can see you on upcoming event. Surprise, I might be there.
Yes, sounds good to me. Thank you so much for that. It would be great to see you there too.
Sure. Thank you, Lavanya. Thank you so much for spending almost 45 minutes with me in Kopi Events. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me on board.
Thank you. I'll catch you soon.
Cheers.
All right. So that's Lavanya. We did almost about 42 minutes of podcasts and understanding about what's going to happen in less than 1 week. Event day is coming up with two shows happening. One is the 5:30 show, the show timing. Another one is 7:30 at the Play Dan, the Arts House. And interesting, a lot of stuff that we talked about, artist collaborations and a lot of few of the artists also coming in, we talked about, right? And we also managed to get Lavanya to sang two songs for us today in this segment, which is not called for. So she did well. She has a lovely voice, and the song that she chose on the spot was fantastic. So yes, do support this event, and hope we can see more viewers coming in. So we are live at Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and also will be uploaded into Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So this is your events, Kobe events for the weekly Kobe events, and I'll be catching you soon, very soon next week for another exciting show with me. Till then, adios, amigos.